Sports.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Super Size Sports. Happy Thursday. Kev here with you, and as always, joined by my wonderful co-host, James.
Hey, you pointed in the right direction today, Kev. We're figuring it out.
We're getting there. I just got to aim over
Right
here.
towards the window or whatever that is, yeah.
By the plant. Yeah, exactly. It's a window. It's my secret window. Boom. Shout out to Steve King. Shout out to everyone in the audience. Shout out to Seth DeFlo Erskines, who we are going to talk about here in a second.
Okay.
So, James, first and foremost, how are you? And if you have any updates for us, let us know what you think about this new Colts folk legend that you're learning about.
I am great, Kev. I did not know this guy had been doing this for a while. I thought this was just a new thing, but no, you're telling me he's been doing this for years, so this is not new. Listen, shout out to the boy. Getting some love. I'm never gonna hate. Never gonna hate on somebody getting their day.
Okay, I'm interested. That pleasantly surprised, I will say, just because I thought as a rival you might be. What up, Keebler? I thought
Not gonna hate.
you might be a hater. Okay, see, and that's
I think it's kind of weird. It's kind of goofy, but whatever. Like, fuck it, man. Working for him. Oh, we didn't make it 3 minutes.
Oh, it's all
start
good.
over. Gotta start over.
I will have you all know that this song is actually built off an evangelical beat, so I think we're going to make up for it. We're going to get some good karma.
Great.
Immediately right back. Here he is, Seth DeFlo Erskines. This guy has been doing this at least all of last year. I don't know if he was doing it before that, but the rest of the NFL world has just now figured it out, James. So send join link in the cord. That is right. Yes, we will get a Discord link out here. Well, I'll grab that while we listen to a little bit of our boy Seth. I'm going to turn this down. I have a feeling he's going to be loud on us. All right.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We do. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. 4-2, beat the Bengals. Let's cook them and eat their stripes. This is our team. Go Colts.
Wow.
No nay this time.
What a weird deal.
It's been improved upon. Yeah, the whole thing is very unique. Like I said, I just learned yesterday that Seth actually works in his church. So I had no idea this was a church song. But yeah, so it's a church beat that
I could
last
see that.
year it was kind of just the same song over and over again. Last year, James, he would just change the name of the team at the beginning. And now he's like Garth Brooks with it. He's got this little third verse at the end of the song.
Yeah.
That he's doing every specific team. So we're eating the stripes off the Bengals, which maybe for next week he can come up with something that's a little less visceral, because actually the Bengals third stringers are kind of eating the Colts up alive.
Yeah,
at least when I logged out. And
let's see what the current score is.
Appreciate that. Well, actually, I got this. Yeah, if you want to pull the score up, I'm going to get a link out to Keebler here. We're going to be joined by our good friend, a co-host from Necessary Roughness, also hangs out on the ADP podcast. I know he's been here with us before. Keebler, it is in the chat. I'm tagging you in it right now. How are my pathetic Colts looking
7-7. Looks like they put all the backups in.
Oh, well, that's
so I hopped on Twitter, and the first thing I saw was a touchdown from Anthony Richardson to Adonai Mitchell, or however you say his name. We don't know. But you said it went south after that, right?
Yeah, it was a great first drive, 6 of 7. What up? Oh, Skull for life. Shouts out. It was a good start, man. 6 of 7, touchdown, looking great. Colts Twitter started getting a little cocky, talking their shit as they do. We've been hearing so much shit all off season about how much our quarterback sucks, about how inaccurate he is, even with a clean pocket. Some of these things, that last one I may have said myself, might have been my biggest fear coming into this season, was my biggest fear on draft night. Still a little optimistic. I will say this, James, the interception and an incompletion that took place on 3rd long, they were more miscommunications with the wide receiver than anything else. The interception, it was Granson, the tight end, ran a zig route, and Richardson threw him the slant. He threw him the slant, and so as Granson was going out, the ball was coming on the inside. It was a pick 6. There was a 3rd and long where it looked like the result of the play looked like he threw a ball into triple coverage. And although we didn't see it, the announcing team told us that Mitchell pulled off of his route. So it maybe made it look a little worse than it is. So, well, as we've got
my goodness,
things coming, James, look at that. We've got Keebler in the mix.
Yeah. What is in the chat? The return, hashtag it.
Hashtag the return part 2. I came on pause. Unnecessary roughness last week, so good to be back right in time for week 1 in like week and a half. No, 2 weeks.
Yeah, we have this Sunday is the end of the preseason games. They all wrap up over the next 4 days, and then we're off for a week. And I believe it's Thursday the 5th is the official Thursday start.
Night. God, just hearing the sounds of this. Oh my God, we're so back, guys. We're so back. Hearing the announcers.
I hate Thursday night being the start. Is this this might be an L take from me, guys. Let me just lay this out for you. I want to see if you guys agree or disagree with me. I want the NFL season to start on a Sunday because I'm a glutton. I've been withheld for however many months. I want my first time back to be the full buffet of NFL. Don't give me a
I don't want to tease. Don't want to tease on Thursday. Yeah.
No, but before you eat an entree, you gotta have the appetizer. You feel me? So it's like, I get it. Like, you want, like, it was the same thing last year, right? Lions, Chiefs. Now it's Ravens, Chiefs. So I mean, I understand, but maybe like Saturday would be cool.
Yeah, at least you make a good point. At least it's a good matchup. Historically, throughout the NFL regular season, since they've introduced Thursday night games, most of the time they suck. At least once we get into the regular season, at least this is a very intriguing matchup. But no, I'm a greedy bastard, and also I wouldn't hate having 3 more days. I don't know about you guys. Some of my commissioners are making me sweat a little bit. I'm like, hey, hi guys, when is the draft? We've got like a week and a half. So if you guys are you guys all drafted? You guys all ready? Any?
My first one Sunday. I have to do a lot of research. A lot.
I'm in 2 leagues. I haven't done the draft for the 100 yet, but I did one for the 25. And I'd have to say, in a 10-man league with the 6th pick, I think I cooked.
Was that the one you shared in Discord?
It might have been. Let me pull it up and see.
I thought that was a pretty good team.
Yeah, it's the only team I've drafted so far. So, and then I'm doing like a little like $10 BS league. So it's like whatever. But that being said, this team is sick, dude. I mean, I hate the Cowboys defense, but like I kind of had to. Given what was out there. But James, in case you didn't see it, I got Stroud running QB with Kirk as the backup.
Okay. Big fan.
My running backs, I got Derrick Henry and James Cook as my starters.
Love it.
And then I got Singletary and Chubb and Hubbard off the bench.
What's Chubb's status? How long is he going to be out for?
I don't know. It just says out. It's more of like a late season play. Like, hopefully week.
Playoff push type deal.
Yeah. At my receivers, I got Amon-Ra and Ayuk. And then off the bench, I got Keenan Allen and Jaden Reed. Tight end, I got Pitts and Bowers.
Fun.
And then at my flex, I got Neighbors. I mean, you kind of expected it from me, but Cowboys defense and Butker kicker.
Okay.
A lot of fun there. A lot of fun there.
I think
You liking that one, James?
I think I could.
I think there's some possibilities there. I think he did all right.
Yeah,
I can't
don't hate it. Definitely don't hate it.
Chase and Jefferson were still on the board, but I went with Amon-Ra because I know he's going to be more consistent with his QB situation and everything.
Yeah. I love Amon-Ra. One of my favorites. I love that dude.
Oh yeah, I'm addicted to Amon-Ra. He and a late season signing of Rashad Penny got me to my first ever fantasy football championship, and then I won the next year in a different league. Yeah, so anytime I've had a champion, Amon-Ra has been on that squad. So if he's in the right spot, I have a hard time not taking him, which eventually will get me burnt. I tell you what, fellas, I'm incredibly excited for my ADP auction draft. For those of you, if you don't play the IDP, I was thinking ADP because another damn fantasy pod, which this segment is sponsored by the way. You guys make sure you check that out Wednesday nights, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I'll add that. 8:15 for you Central folk. I know they did a bunch of mock drafting last night. We, of course, will do plenty more mock drafts for the channel before the next week is out, but go ahead and check that out. But the individual defensive player leagues are so much fun. I think it's like a love-hate kind of thing. It really depends on the scoring.
I hate them.
But I tell you what, an auction draft with IDP, it is usually 4 to 6 hours to get that draft locked in, and it's only I think it's a 10-team league. It might be a 12-team league. I can't remember, but it's a tough one. And then 5 years in, they added a super flex, so now it's like you've got
we're a super flex league too. It's so different.
It's just like, God damn, man, it gets hard to navigate 2 QB league and stuff like that. It gets really hairy. So lots of fun fantasy football coming up. Oh, go ahead, James.
Flex and didn't draft quarterbacks early enough, and it cost me dearly. Dearly.
Oh yeah, it's a whole new ball game in a super flex league. You have to.
It's so different.
You have to prioritize some quarterbacks a little bit earlier.
Yeah, you have to get them earlier.
Which, speaking of prioritizing quarterbacks, guys, I want to ask you both if you have been up to date with the argument about the greatest quarterback on American soil and Daryl House-Doucette's claim to this throne.
Yeah,
James, will start. Is he okay? Keebler says he's him. James, you heard about this? Have you read about this?
Yes, I have heard about it. Good Lord. What the F and F?
I have a thread put together by the Twitter/X user @Kicks. Shout out to @Kicks. Don't ask me why Alex Jones is the #1 suggested live stream on my profile right now. That's a topic for another time, guys. All right. We're not going to talk about that right now. Let's check out. Now, it's going to be a little bit small screen here, guys, but there's a big thread of some highlights. If you see one you really want to focus up on, I'll zoom in on it. But as you can see, it's a little... It beats the hell out of my poor little laptop here. So avoid going full screen. But this guy is real damn shifty. I got to give him that. When it comes to some of these moves, like you see the way he goes all the way down in this highlight. On the next one, I think he's going to squat here. Hang on. Let me get back over here. Squats down. He does a legit like whoop. There it is. Bap. Like he's a shifty dude. Okay, not gonna act like he's not. Here's a wonderful lateral. He does some shake and bake beforehand. Like when I first was shown highlights of this guy, it wasn't these. Okay. I'm about to show you guys the first highlight that I was shown of this guy where I was like, man, this dude is better. Where is it? Right here. Yes, sir. Look at that form.
Yeah, this one, yeah, that one was so bad.
That's the one I've been seeing all week, where they're like, this guy's better than Patrick Mahomes, huh? And you're like, come on, man, you got to be kidding me. This is a joke, right? But this dude is actually a stud at flag football is what I'm getting out of this. Now, unfortunately, the Olympics are another 4 years away. I think he's going to be 41. He's going to be close to 40 at least by the time the Olympics start. What do you guys think? Keith, I'm going to start with you. Are you hyped for flag football at the Olympics? And do you agree with Doucette's take that it is dumb for someone like me to just assume it's going to be a bunch of NFL players and that the flag game is a different skill set and we won't actually see too many pros playing?
I think his take is a little bit delusional. I'm not gonna have this dude that, like, the play you pulled up, dude. I'm picking that shit. Like, wait, we're at 60 minutes. I'm picking that shit off. Like, I don't get it, man. But apparently, he's been the best quarterback in the flag football league for like 5 years. So, I mean, that's all I really have to say. Just, I don't know, man.
I agree. Sometimes you should just not.
It's like, so
who's giving this dude a mic? Like, if you put this man in the NFL, he'd get killed. Stop it.
They should start making microphones more expensive.
I agree. Like, stop. Like,
oh, that's that. You know what? I might agree with that one. James, I assume you're kind of on the same page here. Is this
exactly
a little bit of delusion?
If the NFL allows them to play, they'll play. And you're not going to beat them out, whoever you are. Like, that pass right there is so funny. He is shifty. I'll give him credit, but like in the
this
NFL,
one's actually
just killed.
Yeah, you can't lay down and do a squat and like he's probably great at limbo too. Like you can't do those things, which I think is sort of his argument that, oh hey, Pat Mahomes can't do this while he's running around, but also he's not probably wouldn't need to. Let's be honest, Pat Mahomes is going to be on the flag football team for the Olympics anyway. I don't think the Chiefs would ever allow something like that to happen.
Shouldn't even be an Olympic sport. That's the stupidest thing ever. My thoughts on it. It's so dumb.
And the Pro Bowl just recently changed to flag football, so whoever does good there, just send them to the Olympics. Simple.
Yeah. We should also just send the Pro Bowl right into the fucking depths of hell. It's another stupid thing.
I agree with you both on that. That was my thought. It's like, you're going to have guys like Tyreek Hill or who other Pro Bowlers that are good enough at flag football as well. This sport has grown. I remember a time, gentlemen, when the biggest name in flag football was Notre Dame's own Jimmy Clausen. I remember when he got kicked out of the NFL unmercilessly, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, Jimmy Clausen, known world-class athlete. Not a guy I ever would have thought. Here's a dude who's been running the I formation his whole career. Let's have him play flag football. That makes a lot of sense. I kind of agree with you both. I don't hate the flag football at the Olympics. Have I given you guys my Olympic take before? If you're new here, we'll make it real quick. The Olympics in general are stupid. I love them. I think it's okay to love them and for us to get excited about them. But we're talking about a sport that started with a couple of Greek dudes wrestling on a mountain. We've had things like synchronized underwater basket weaving. Like, I don't give a shit if they want to play ice hockey with brooms in the Olympics. I don't care. Play whatever fucking sports you want. Maybe don't bring back breakdancing for a while, but I don't have anything against it being in the Olympics, but I don't know that I'm going to watch it either. I used to officiate flag football back in college, and it doesn't hold a candle to the real thing. This guy, good for him for knowing how to milk a moment. I will say that. An interesting opportunity he's had to make a name for himself here. I don't even think he'll be on the Olympic squad, guys.
No.
Jimmy Clausen mentioned everybody drink. I love that. Oh, well, we've got it's, as we said, it's the last week of the preseason. There is actually, you know what? I'm going to pivot to a trade here because it is right in your division, Keebler. So I'm going to start with you on this one. In the words of Adam Schefter, a rare in-division trade. Washington is sending former first-round pick Jahan Dotson and a fifth-round pick to the Eagles in exchange for a 2025 third-round pick and 2 seventh-round picks per sources. So, Keebler, how do you feel about this happening in your own backyard?
I mean, the Eagles got him for a bag of chips. Pretty simple, but it's not like I look at Jahan Dotson in the same light as I look at like other wide receiver threes around the league. Maybe I'm not familiar with this game. Maybe I'm casual. I don't know. Sue me. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like even the Giants like wide receiver threes better than him. Like we have Neighbors at the 1, Slayton at the 2, I want to say, for right now, and then Wandale at the 3, and I feel like Wandale clears him by like a pretty significant margin. Obviously, we don't know.
I do love Wandale.
We don't know because his rookie year he tore his ACL. Second year was his last year was his second year, and Tommy DeVito was his quarterback. So I don't know.
Dude, Wandale's the reason everybody thinks Will Levis is good. Sorry, James. I just had to do that to you.
Well, that's ridiculous.
But
Yeah,
it's not true.
Cancel the show. Cancel the show.
Look at him
Wandale Robinson from Nebraska.
I think he had like 50 receptions for like 500 yards last year, which is good. But like, I don't know. I don't know how much he's going to get involved, especially with like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and their quarterback's mid. So it's like, whatever.
James, what about you? What are your thoughts on this odd trade?
It's great. It's interesting that they traded him after 2 years after drafting him in the first round. They really just gave up, and he's on a whole new coaching staff. His third offensive coordinator. It's tough. I don't hate it from the Eagles' perspective. Trying to find a third receiver there. What did they give up for him? They gave up
a third and 2 sevenths.
2 sevenths. Like the third, that's kind of seems like a lot, but his stats haven't been great. Was he 500 yards in back-to-back seasons? So he's still young. I don't hate it for them. It's just admitting defeat for the Commanders is what it is there. You know,
that's what it shocks me a little bit because you guys aren't wrong. I like Dotson. He had his moments. It's a little bit of fantasy bias again as well. He was somebody that I had in a league last year, and he had his moments where you wanted to play him, and then you have the weeks where you really regretted putting him in the flex or whatever you did. But for me, it felt this is why this one's really odd. Outside of the same division, which is just weird enough on its own, I don't think the Commanders are that set at wide receiver, and I don't think that the Eagles really needed Jahan Dotson in their receiving room. Like you guys kind of already pointed to some of this stuff, especially about the Eagles. So to me, it doesn't make sense. This feels like a glitch in the simulation. Like this is a computer trade in your Madden dynasty, right? This is the kind of shit you see where you're like, what the hell is the AI doing over here? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that?
The thing is, they do have Kellen Moore's our offensive coordinator, and he widens it up. He throws it more. He spreads stuff out more. So maybe there is some room there. Like maybe they think they need one. You know, they also have Dallas Goedert on that team too. Saquon in the backfield. So it's interesting. That's really the only way I can put it. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, well, all right, I guess. It's starting to remind me of the Michael Vick, Vince Young Eagles, all where it's just like, yeah, you guys are just going to go grab everybody, and it's not going to work very well. I've seen this movie. But I won't be seeing movies or games, most importantly. Now, this one is 5 days old, guys. There may be an update, but Stream East has been seized by the federal government.
Yeah, what is Stream
platform that many people used to get around NFL Network subscriptions or YouTube TV. So I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to make you perjure yourselves on on the internet. But any thoughts on Stream East getting taken down? There's one less bootlegged way to watch the NFL, and they get us 2 weeks before the season starts.
Yeah, so for anyone that like religiously uses crack streams, I would definitely say Stream East, definitely don't use crack streams. It's not really that good. But that being said, like there's so much wrong with the country, and then they don't take care of any of it, and then just take away a way to watch football. Like I think it's ridiculous.
But the whole NFL Sunday ticket deal is such a
oh no, we're taking away from the league that brings in the highest percent of revenue. Oh no, what are we gonna do? I don't know.
All those advertisers will get to have their ads out in front of this many more eyes. Oh no.
And it's not like Stream East gets rid of commercials. The commercials are still there.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I understand it, but to me, it just feels like when you go to Walmart, you're paying in some sense for the items that somebody else is going to steal, right? They adjust what they charge, knowing that a few people are going to get away with stealing this. So to me, it's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's not my money. And obviously we're on the consumer side of this. So I'm over here like, yeah, why would you do that? Who fucking cares? You're not making enough money. Is it really the individual users buying DirecTV? Is that really what's keeping you in business at this point? I refuse to believe that, especially we're talking about the NFL. We're talking about like this league gets money from the government. Like they get money from fucking everything. They got beer money, they got sponsorship money, they got artists who have to pay them to go do the halftime show. Like these guys are printing money. They might as well be the fucking Federal Reserve. Are you gonna cancel Stream East?
The whole NFL Sunday ticket thing, like, did you see that it came out that they were trying to ESPN was trying to get them to offer team only subscriptions where you paid just to watch your team, and it was like $70 or something. I would pay like $200 if I could just watch all the Titans games for that. They just won't do it. They're just fucking assholes. The NFL Sunday ticket thing is a farce, man.
Why wouldn't you do that? I think
because you can charge so many. That's why.
But it's just, there are so many people, I believe, that are using alternative methods to get around this. That would be that, like you said, they would pay the money if it was a reasonable $100 to $200. Let me watch all 18 of my team's games. That's really what I want to watch. Maybe come up with an extra dollar amount to add red zone to that, and I bet people will pay for that. I know I would.
Charge just quite a bit. Like it costs, if you want to buy NFL Sunday tickets, like $600 right now. And even if you have a YouTube TV subscription, when you factor in that you have to pay monthly, it's the same. It's fucking crazy, man.
Oh yeah, YouTube TV on its own is brutal.
Like, bars are starting to not be able to afford it. Like the bar side of it, like the business side, when you get it, is crazy too. It's insane.
It's going to be the UFC soon, and they're
no, like why would
one chain in America that can afford to host it?
Why are you pricing your fans out? It's the same thing with like ticket prices. Like these new stadiums, nobody can go because I can't. I'm not gonna go to the Titans game when they open that new stadium. No fucking way. You can't pay $500 to sit up in the top. It's just crazy.
That is kind of a weird progression or side effect of the, I guess, expanding of all of the markets. So you think of like a small market team. I don't even know why I put it in fucking quotation marks. It is what it is. You can still go to a Pacers game for $17 because it's Indianapolis. But that's awesome for us small market fans. And I feel bad for fans that are just in a bigger area.
Indy's got the Colts have got the Colts have got the best that I've been to, the best outside game deal in America, Touchdown Town, where you can get $3 Bud Lights or Ultras. It's the best deal in America, right outside the stadium.
I wish I could pay less than $150 to watch my basketball team play a basketball game. But
yeah, Keeps.
I think they need to. Oh, go ahead, Keeps.
I might be able to because on the 1st of this month, I'm moving down to Orlando. So, yeah.
Oh, word! What? Congrats! First of all,
key bump.
Only share as much as you want. No, obviously, but congrats! You going down to Florida? Hey, what's the deal there? That's awesome.
So Nick and I got an Airbnb for a month while we try to find jobs first. If I can't afford it, I'm gonna move back up here. He can afford it, even if he doesn't find a job right away. So, if anything, he'll just get like a 1-bedroom. If I can, then we'll work.
You got this, dude. Yeah,
we'll work it out.
Yeah.
But I'm right, nice and close to the Orlando Magic. So,
let's go.
I'm not gonna drop my location or anything. But I am very, very close to the Magic. So
fun team to cover that. I imagine
fun young team. Yes,
might if you if you write about them consistently enough or talk about them, I don't think it'd be too hard to get a press pass for a Magic game. Maybe.
No, that'd be awesome. And the Knicks actually play the Magic on my birthday. So
that's fun. That's cool.
In Orlando, the prices are going to be a little expensive because my birthday's the day after Christmas. But I might be able to pull a couple strings and get some tickets to that game. So
there you go. Hey, and plus you got that a little Christmas request. That is awesome, man. So well, hell yeah. Well, congratulations. I look forward to hearing about how that goes. That's going to be great.
I appreciate
Love
it.
me some Florida.
We're leaving next Saturday at like 7 a.m. doing 8-hour drive. Gonna just stay at like a motel, like a cheap motel, like go to a bar, maybe get some drinks, food, whatever. And then Sunday, we're gonna do the other half. So we might make it 9 the first day and 7 the second day. But it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is a brutal drive. I will say that. So I moved from Florida to Ohio. Now, luckily, I wasn't the one driving back then, but god damn, that's a brutal drive. I am going to check in real quick, guys, on our current preseason slate. It's not just my beloved and frustrating Colts playing against the Bengals tonight. The Bears, the undefeated preseason Bears, well, maybe, are currently leading the Chiefs right now. So I don't think there have been nearly as many starters in the Chiefs-Bears game. I'm looking at it. There might not be any. I don't think
Caleb played. I don't think Mahomes played.
You're right. No.
Yeah, the Bears didn't play or
how
pretty
do you
much
pronounce
anybody.
Badgett. Yeah, Badgett was the starter tonight. So.
And what I imagine has to be Mark Rippon's kid, Brett Rippon. Goddamn. I hate that shit. That makes you feel real old. That might be his grandkid, dude. Like Mark Rippon was playing before I was around. Former Commanders legend, I guess, would be how I would phrase that. But I hate to pivot back to Colts Bengals, but I want to ask you too, because as a Colts fan, I'm already wired to be pessimistic. So if I was surrounded by my comrades at the Horseshoe pride, I might be. They might all be trying to talk me out of this one, but it bothers me a little bit that the Colts starters played almost all of the first half, and then it was made much worse by the fact that they didn't perform very well against the third stringers on the Bengals. Joe Burrow then had to come in on the sideline interview and just stick the knife in and be like, yeah, these guys, they're all just fighting for their jobs. We're just here to support that. Like, everyone playing tonight is on the bubble to get cut from our roster. And as he's saying that, Anthony Richardson gets strip sacked. It's not a big deal. I'm not upset about it.
Throwing pick sixes.
Should I be concerned at this late preseason development? Kiba, you're shaking your head, so I'm going to turn it to you first.
It's really nothing to do with Anthony Richardson himself as a player. It just comes down to his NFL experience, I think. Last year we got to see him in two games. And then obviously he doesn't know how to protect himself, so he was out the other but I think it just comes down to experience. If we're being realistic, it's really his rookie year. He doesn't have the experience that Bryce Young has of playing for a full year, Stroud of having the playoffs. So maybe we're just expecting a little too much from him right now, based off the two games that we saw last year. Obviously, he had flaws with his passing. I was watching the game with Nick tonight. Some of it really wasn't his fault, but that one interception for the pick six, that was really bad. He threw it. If I'm the receiver, it was on the receiver's right, and threw it right to the defender. There was really nothing to go around that. So Burrow's right. All the guys on the defense are fighting for their roster spot. And they're looking to make a name for himself, try to get a guaranteed contract. So nothing's going to really come easy when you're on offense playing against guys like that. But it's the same way for the offense. They should be playing. Obviously, Richardson's guaranteed to have his roster spot, so how he plays in preseason really doesn't matter, especially when Sam Ehlinger aren't really much to worry about. But yeah, I think it just comes down to experience. I think he has to use his legs a little more, try to get out of the pocket, maybe try to learn to throw on the run. I would say try to be as good as Caleb Williams, but the only person as good as Caleb Williams is better, and that's Patrick Mahomes at throwing on the run that I've seen. But I don't know. Did you say the score of that game?
Yeah, it's 10-7 currently.
Yep.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be too pessimistic. I don't think they're playing all of their starters. Obviously, they're playing some, like Adonai Mitchell, Richardson. I doubt many people on the O-line are starters. I could be wrong. I wasn't really paying attention to who was playing the line, but they're probably not going to want them to get beat up. In the last game right before the season starts, especially when you have the Texans week 1. But yeah, I think it just comes down to experience, and he's just going to have to learn what to do in those high-level situations.
No, I don't disagree. And yeah, you're right on the interception. I would love to know if that was a miscommunication. Because it was the tight end ran a zig route and he threw a slant. So I'm just wondering if because it was right as he was cutting out. So I'm wondering either way, it's not good because somebody didn't know what route was supposed to be run, and then you're throwing to a spot.
I think it was just a bad throw, to be honest. I don't think it didn't look like a miscommunication. I think he just, I don't know the word. He didn't sail it to the right, but it was just kind of.
Well, James, same question for you. I know you are going to be probably rooting for the Colts to be in trouble, being a hot one.
Yeah,
right
you
now,
know what I think about this. I don't think he's any good. But that's
generally
a very biased opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. So
I hope he's healthy this year. I will say that. I hope he's healthy this year. That's one thing I do. I hope he's healthy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think he's no good.
A
Jonathan
season of
Taylor's the
Joe
best back
Flacco.
in the AFC South now, though, because Derrick Henry left.
Yeah, honestly, this team should just run it. Just run the ball.
He's healthy, right? He's actually healthy this year, which is good. Good start for them.
Read options, end arounds, bubble screens. You should really strip this thing down. I know Steichen's going to dial some things up for him to go deep. I think they should have a handful of plays a week where he's going to get to unload something, but I would keep it simple early on and really just try to pound the run game. The Bengals, this is a team going in at an over-under at 10.5 wins. I know this because I was just on the Simon and Friends podcast where we had to pick the over-under for every team coming into the season. I was worried about the Bengals coming in. I don't know how much to make of. I try not to make really anything of a preseason game except when it involves the play of a starting quarterback against a bunch of third stringers. That kind of has a little bit of an impact on me, but Keebler already addressed that. He's a rookie. But the case in point, the Bears are beating the Chiefs 20-7. So maybe there aren't too many takeaways to be had.
The Bears, they didn't play anybody either, yeah.
From the preseason. James, I'll kick it back to you. Next week, you will not be here. So
I'm out next week, yep.
This is going to be really your final opportunity, unless we get a pre-record in, to kind of get out any NFL predictions. Next week, I was aiming to do our NFL preview. Obviously, guys, if you want to be week to week locked into the NFL, go hang out with John and occasionally Keebs and the boys on Tuesday night, Necessary Roughness. They'll be doing that stuff every week. And then, of course, Trevor and Josh on Wednesday nights for the fantasy side of things. But next week, it's going to be all NFL because this show will also be an NFL-heavy show. But, James, open floor for you on any predictions, anything you want to get off your chest before the season officially starts.
The Titans are going to beat the Bears in week 1, and Nate's going to have to take it chewy.
Facts. I agree with you. I'm just saying.
The Titans' secondary is so good, it's going to be a rough week 1 debut for Caleb Williams. Titans' secondary is probably top 5 in the league.
I'll go over it later, but I have 5 underdogs week 1, and the Titans are one of them.
Hell yeah, that's my guy. See, Keebs knows. He knows. Fuck you, Nate. I know you're not here, but if you watch this, that's for you.
I also said on Necessary Roughness, if you were tuned in, that the Titans are my sleeper. So.
Yeah, see, Keebs gets me. Keebs gets me. I missed it, man. I think the Jags are going to suck. I think they're not going to be never good.
Let's go. Yeah, I took the under for them. I'm never doing my shoey. I'm a father of 2, for cripe's sakes.
Let's take. I haven't even really thought about it. I've got so much work to do, like fantasy, everything to get ready. I'm way behind. I hope Derrick Henry does good for the Ravens. I know it makes me sad he's not there, but I do want him to win, so he never won anything with us.
It is interesting how many power ranking articles and stuff are stacking like Ravens top offense and top defense. I'm like, okay.
It's quite a take. They lost a lot of defensive position coaches and coordinators. All the McDonald guys left.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent. I mean, there is talent there. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, the best defense in the league. Okay, we'll see. I think they might flirt with being a top 10 defense potentially. I think they're going to be
in the league's pretty
better half. They're not going to be in the back.
I think Bryce Young's still going to suck. And I don't think anybody's going to disagree there. Big matchup week 1, Vikings Giants. Necessary reference model there.
Yeah, John. I know you heard that. Be scared, man. I'm just kidding.
Clearly, no shoeys on the line for that one.
No shoe. Come on,
I'll put
John.
a shoey on the line.
Don't be a pussy, John. Don't be a pussy. I think we'll have 7 a good year. I think Titans' offense is going to be good. On the right side of the offensive line is going to be a problem. They're just not.
My shoes are also really disgusting, John. So
yeah, John. John probably has clean shoes.
John, I will just say it is very fulfilling to watch someone else drink a beer out of their shoe.
It's not fun.
And knowing it was because of a bet they made with you, and in some cases knowing because it was a bet they instigated with you, for no reason.
Who's going to be the Steelers starting quarterback? That's my question to you guys.
Last offer. I'm sorry. I gotta do something to get him to agree.
Come on, John.
If Vikings win, if you don't want to do a shoey, if Vikings win, I'll do a shoey. If Giants win, you owe me $10.
Come on, John.
There's a cop out if you want to do that.
Come on, John.
Let us know what you think there, John. I'm going to pull up a graphic for James's question. Keebs, we'll start with you. What do you think, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields? I've kind of given my take on this a couple of times, so I'll hold off for now. What do you think about this situation?
Russell Wilson. Just watching Justin Fields in the preseason, he hasn't looked great. Both of them are coming to a new team, but Russell Wilson has more experience when it comes to switching teams, obviously. So I feel like he's going to be a little more comfortable in that type of situation, especially surrounded with better weapons than he had in Denver. I think you kind of just got to ride with Russ and hope that he at least is 75% of what he was in his last couple of years with the Seahawks. Maybe get that back. Steelers have a good O-line and he has good weapons. Maybe they still trade for Ayuk. Who knows? No one knows what's happening with that at all. But just seeing what I've seen out of Fields, he can run out of the pocket a little easier.
Legs still work.
Obviously, that comes with age and also athletic ability. Russ is kind of chubby. But that being said, you just got to trust the more experienced guy, especially when your contention window is still open for that. That division for second place is wide open. I think the Ravens are super guaranteed to win that division. I'm also really low on the Bengals. And I think the Steelers could definitely sneak out an 11-win season, make the wild card maybe. So got to go with the guy who's obviously been to a Super Bowl. Obviously the Seahawks should have ran the ball, but it's whatever. And yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
I agree to an extent. I think for about the first half of the season, it's the Russ show. And because, and I'm sorry, Nate, he may disagree with me on this one, but because I tend to blame at least some of Justin Fields' issues on just what was going on being a part of that Bears franchise, and now it's the Steelers. And I do think there's going to be a certain. I can't not point out the fact that the Steelers are a team that just feels like one of the most well-run organizations. They've had 4 coaches ever. They don't have a lot of bullshit going on, whereas the Bears have been new OC or new head coach almost every other year. Obviously, the Steelers' offense has been nothing to write home about. And I think early on in the season, it's about having the seasoned veteran, the guy who's going to make fewer mistakes. But part of me thinks that Russ will still see a lot of what we saw in Denver, and he'll continue to decrease in his ability. And at a certain point, it's going to be time to give Justin Fields a shot. And I think – we're talking about a team that made the playoffs with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph at the helm. They're going to the playoffs no matter what. They could put one of us 3 at quarterback, and they're winning 9 games. That's just what I believe. That's Steeler football. They do. So yeah, I think they're going to end up almost splitting snaps when it all said and done. I think there's going to be a tale of 2 seasons here under center. But what about you, James? You posed the question. Do you have a thought either way?
I think Russell Wilson starts as the starter, but I think Justin Fields gets it by the end of the season. I don't know if either of them are any good at this point, but I think that's how it's going. I think Russell was anointed the starter when they got him. I think they'll follow through on it.
Nate says Steelers are going to be 7-11 this year unless they get Ayuk. Keebler disagrees with that one.
Even if they don't get Ayuk, they're still going to have a winning season. It's Mike Tomlin. It's inevitable.
Yep. It used to be 8 wins at a minimum, but now it's 9, right? You never. Maybe you can convince me they'll go 8-9, but nope, not 7 wins, not happening. Well, Keebs, I will. Same question as vague as it was to you, although I know you may be on and are next week. So if you are saving some of that stuff, by all means, feel free to save it and just plug it. But do you have any takes that you want to get off your chest, the hot takes or otherwise, before we get into the NFL regular season?
Well, I have my week 1 predictions ready already.
I love it.
I can run through a couple of like the underdogs I have. And give like a sentence about why. Nick and I did that earlier.
Yeah, let's go. I love that.
You know what? I'll start it off. First game of the season. First take from me. Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs week 1. In my opinion, it usually takes the Chiefs a couple weeks to really ramp it up and find their chemistry against like a team's full first string lineup. We saw the Lions last year, beat them in the opener. I think the Ravens are a more talented team. Obviously, the Chiefs somehow managed to get even better, in my opinion. But when you have the defense that the Ravens do, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on Mahomes. Obviously, he's a magician, but I just think overwhelming him the entire game, just boom, 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 could get to him. That being said, I think Kelsey will have himself a game, but that Ravens secondary is just nasty, man. Nate, I could definitely see that, but except switch the teams for me. For the Bears beat the Titans by 21. If you switch the order of those teams, I think that's good there.
That's my reasoning so dumb, Nate. You're so dumb.
That's my reasoning for week 1. I have to say, because you guys know I'm a Giants fan, the Giants are beating the Vikings week 1. I'm sorry, John. If there's any time I've been more confident in my team or the most confident in my team, it's week 1. And I retired from betting, but if I'm a betting man, right, which I used to be, very, 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 very into it, you see TJ Hawkinson's going to be out. You see Jordan Addison's probably going to be out. You see Darnold at quarterback, who's still unproven.
No, he's not unproven. He sucks. He's very proven.
Unproven at being good at football. I did say that he has a chance to be most improved player because it's not an actual award in the NFL. I think that there's definitely a case that you can make if all of his weapons were healthy, which that's not going to come until like mid-season. He's a TJ. But that being said, all the Giants have to do is what, and I know I bring it up so many times, blah, 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 2022 wild card, yada, yada. Anyway, all we did was put Justin Jefferson in double coverage, and I think he had about 47 yards that game. So that being said, I don't think it's going to be too hard for the Giants. I mean, the Vikings just got Stephon Gilmore, but it's basically Shaq to retirement, not even to the Celtics at this point. I don't know. I'm confident, not as much in Daniel Jones, but I'm confident in the people around him to make plays. Obviously, our O-line is much, much improved, so I think there will be a lot of good looks for Singletary. I think he'll be able to hit Neighbors for at least like 5 receptions. Wandale in the slot, maybe one Hyatt over the top bomb. Slayton's obviously a problem. So I think that the Giants at home, at even money, I think you just got to ride with them, in my opinion. And also at home, all this slander that's going on in the offseason, the Giants have a huge chip on their shoulder, and they're not going to just let the Vikings come in and take a win from them at home at MetLife. So that's my take on Giants-Vikings.
I love it.
What's another underdog I had? Texans are minus 120. Don't understand that at all. They should be like minus 200. Sorry, Kev.
I'm not arguing with you. Especially not after what I've been watching tonight.
Yeah, like that's just crazy. I mean, the Colts just scored, so 16-7. But sorry if you were watching. I spoiled.
Yeah, and even as a fan, like thinking that the Colts, like wanting the Colts to win and thinking they should be anywhere close to favored in a game against the reigning divisional champion when Anthony Richardson's starting his first game since last October, was it?
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, that's all I'm saying. Even despite my bias, I agree with you.
Next one, I got to say, I think I want to say one more after this one. Raiders are beating the Chargers. Minshew Mania at quarterback. You got Brock Bowers, who in my opinion is going to be a stud right out of the gate. He was very good in college. He has like the same like kind of stature, I guess you could say. I don't know if that's the right word for it, as like a Kelsey, as like a Kittle, as like that kind of thing. Obviously, you need a good quarterback to throw him the ball. That's like 50% of it. But I think he's going to be a stud. If you put all your defensive attention on Devontae Adams, which the Chargers very well could, I think Bowers could have himself a game. At running back, I'm unfamiliar. Do you guys know who they picked up to replace Jacobs or who they're going with?
It's not.
All right, let me not even bring that up.
Is it Zaire White? I was gonna say, did they get anybody? I don't know that they got anybody to replace Josh Jacobs. I'm sure there's somebody, but it's not comparable.
I think Joey Bosa is already questionable, which brings me to my next point. I only know like 4 people outside of Bosa on the Chargers defense, and that's Asante Samuel, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, and there was one more. I don't know. But the Chargers' weapons are also like receiving weapons are also like terrible. Quentin Johnson can't catch a cold. Lad McConkey's going to be a bust. Yeah, so I think the Raiders take that pretty handedly. Not handedly, but I can definitely see about like a touchdown, maybe 10.
It was Zamir White, by the way, and Alexander Madison is the running back.
Let me ignore the point I was going to make about the Raiders running. I think the last one I want to go with is the Browns. We don't know if CD's playing. He hasn't participated.
Yeah, we don't. You have no idea. He's not there.
He didn't play in. I mean, he didn't participate in training camp. He hasn't played in preseason. Who knows? I don't know if they get it done. Talks are saying they might ramp it up. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. If he doesn't play, your receivers are Brandon Cooks and Tolbert, who I'm pretty sure is a rookie.
It's not good. Yeah.
Even if you have Dak, who in my opinion easily top 10 quarterback, whatever, yeah, Cowboys, fuck you, whatever. I just don't see it. Zeke is back in Dallas as their running back. I don't know if CD plays, maybe, but that Browns secondary and that Browns front line is just going to swarm the Cowboys the entire game.
Their front line is so good.
At home too, and if Deshaun plays even 70% of what he was before all the shit, I think the Browns take it pretty handedly. I'm also down on the Cowboys this year. I think they have a real shot at maybe going 8-9, somewhere down there. But I think that was the last one other than the Jets, but I don't want to get into the Jets. I'm going to save the Jets for necessary roughness.
There we go.
Save them.
I'm with you on the Cowboys. I'm kind of down on the Cowboys as well. Not feeling great about their prospects coming into the season. I think their over-under is like 9.5 as well. So they just feel like a team that might be close, but I if I was putting money on it, I'd bet the under for the Cowboys right now if I had to put money down. James, we have a one last segment on the docket, and for those of you who maybe are just joining us, because if you've been watching for the last hour, there's no way you wouldn't know. We are both fans of AFC South teams, and so throughout the NFL season, we will be making it a point to make a pit stop down south and tour the AFC South. Someone just said, Kevin, watch your back. A mystic named Deborah said a K name in my life would be perishing soon. That is the most amazing comment ever. Thank you, CC. Back to the sports. All right, James, AFC South. We're touching base. What did you call this one? Tour? No, not touring.
What did I say it was?
That's our friend Mike Patton's podcast. Go check that out. Touring the AFC South.
Touring the AFC South that's him. What did I say? Around the AFC South.
There it is. Around the AFC South. My my inevitable death kind of threw me off there, guys. Sorry. So around the AFC South, we've talked a little bit about how I feel about the Colts tonight. So we'll probably talk about everybody else. James, anything you want to look at going into week one, heading out of the preseason in the AFC South that we haven't talked about?
The only thing we didn't talk about the preseason camp from a few days ago where it sounded like AR had a terrible day and was just getting called out left and right by the defense saying he can't throw. He only runs. He throws to spots, not receivers. That was the only thing I saw. Titans, I'm just hoping they get healthy. I hope D-Hop gets back in time, but it sounds like he will.
I saw some of that myself. I mean, we've gone back and forth on. I look forward to getting a chance to watch the extended tape, but I genuinely believe in that interception he threw. He was throwing to a spot and didn't realize that wasn't the spot that play was actually supposed to be going. Either that or maybe it was an option route. But no, I don't disagree with that. It's been a point of concern. You know, he's had flashes in the 2.5 games that he played in the season last year. But no, I mean, it started out so well, 6 of 7 for that touchdown, and it was about to be, all of that out of the window. What bad practice? Who cares? And then the second quarter began, and it got pretty rough. So I don't know. Again, try not to overreact on any of this. You'd rather it happen this week than next week, right? You'd rather make these mistakes in the preseason and then be back in time, have this tape to go over. So, boy, I sure am nervous, though. I feel significantly less confident in this Colts team than I did about a week ago, even, to be honest. There's something about trotting even half your starters out against the guys who are literally fighting to not be in the UFL and to do anything other than just produce against that. Like the fact that he threw a pick and lost a fumble just has me really, really concerned. But I have to remind myself that for the first 2 weeks, he'll probably just be handing it off to JT 30 times. So
probably, yeah.
Anything else from you, James, about the AFC South?
No, I just hopefully D-Hop gets healthy for Tennessee coming into week one. I think he will be Woozier defensively, but no, nothing else really.
Nate has a question for us. Did anyone buy the mayo fragrance?
James, I wish I could have. It sold out so fast.
I was wondering.
Sad.
I had been told that if you were able to get your hands on it, that I should be forced to put it up on my shelf. So
yes, I did not. I wish I did. It sold out. It sold out so quick.
Nate has a hot take for college football. #9 Windiana rises up this year and plays for the Big Ten title against the Cornhuskers. Wow.
I would take that in a heartbeat. They do play this year, Nate. We got to go to the game. Come on, man. Get with it.
Let's do it. Hey, it's been a while since I've been to a Big Ten game myself. But, guys, that wraps it up for what I had on the docket today. So one last time before we bid our farewells, I'll kick it to each of you if you have any other topics. And if not, feel free to just let the folks at home know where they can find you. So, Keebler, we will start with you. Thanks for joining us here, brother. Anything else you wanted to talk about?
Trying to think of what Giants propaganda I can throw out there. I don't know. James, I didn't ask your opinion, so I'm going to now. Bluntly honest, and I'm kind of surprised because I see people on Twitter. I see people on Twitter's opinions, and I'm surprised by some of them. What's your Giants take for this season? And if you had to guess a record prediction, what would it be?
Oh wow, not good. I think Neighbors is awesome. I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy.
Okay.
And his interception in their preseason the other day. But I also must say I don't know enough about him to give you be like, I think they're going to win 10 games or lose 27. I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy. But I do think Neighbors. I think Neighbors can be a stud. I don't even know like who'd they bring? Who's their running back now that Saquon's gone?
Devin Motor Singletary.
Yeah, so that's an interesting.
Oof.
That's interesting.
No,
I like Wandell, but
I love that. I think he put up almost 1,000 last year on the Texans. Oh, he's available too, which is good.
I mean, hey, he's a great bench player on your fantasy squad. You know what I mean? If you need that guy,
he's the
like,
number
he's
one
get
guy.
me 8 points. You know,
I do have him on my bench on my fantasy squad actually.
Yeah, like he's the one. He's got to think about it. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think it's a big year for them because last year just so many injuries. Daniel Jones, everybody's after making the playoffs in year one. You know,
we're always the most injured team in the league. I feel like.
It's been bad. It's been not been good last year. Yeah.
It sucks, but like, I mean, I personally, I just have to say it. I know I'm biased by saying this, but I have the Giants going like 10-7, 9-8. I think. I mean, I went down the list on necessary roughness, but just at like a quick glance of the schedule, let me pull it up. Nope, that was
Vikes, Commanders, Browns, Cowboys, Seahawks, Bengals, Eagles, Steelers, Commanders, Panthers, Bucks, Cowboys, Saints, Ravens, Falcons, Colts, Eagles.
I think we take one against the Vikes, take one against the Commanders, lose to the Browns. Oh, no, I said that we would beat the Browns because I talked shit about them. Unnecessary roughness. We're not starting 4-0, so I'm going to say that we're going to lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Seahawks, beat the Bengals, who we do historically well against, lose the Bengals, yeah. Lose to the Eagles, maybe beat the Steelers, I don't know. Beat the Commanders again, beat the Panthers, maybe beat the Bucks. It's at MetLife, so I don't know. Probably not. Beat the Cowboys. We're beating the Cowboys one time this year. I don't know if it's the first time we play them or the second time we play them, but I promise you we are beating them once. We're beating the Saints, losing to the Ravens, maybe beat the Falcons, probably not. They got really fucking good. And we're going to beat the Colts, and we're going to maybe beat the Eagles week 18 if they have a good enough standing in the division to not play their starters that game.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. You know, I'm probably somewhere in the middle. What was I want to say Vegas gave them like 6.5. Yeah, I thought that. Like, I would feel pretty comfortable taking the over on that one. I can't remember who drafted it on Simon's show, but they took the under. But I had it marked as an over. I don't know about 10 wins, but I definitely think I could see it being I could see them being right in the mix, you know, right around 500. And you never know, things break your way. Somebody gets hurt. I am still uncertain when it comes to Daniel Jones because, like, we've seen some flashes. There was a time, Keebler, where I was pushing that narrative that Daniel Jones was the best running quarterback in the NFL. But I just sometimes, man, James mentioned that interception. Sometimes he gets a little Carson Wentzy on me where I'm like, what in the hell were you just thinking, dude? Sometimes you just throw it away. Sometimes you just take the sack. But I'm not completely out on him yet either. We've seen flashes. I think we've seen some great play from him before. And as you would know better than us as an actual Giants fan, I'm not out on Daboll either. I mean, didn't you say he took the playbook back, right? Like going in, he's going to be back to calling all the plays.
Yeah. So when we made the playoffs, he was calling all the plays. We looked really good that year. Last year, for whatever fucking reason, he gave it to Mike Kafka, who I hate with like a burning passion. Anytime I think or hear his name, like my blood starts to boil just because of how terrible last season was. And then defensive wise, we got rid of Wink, brought in Shane Bowen. Thank you, James. Appreciate it. Because I'm still pretty high on him. He just, the way that we looked in the Jets practice, I think he just has a couple things to tweak in the secondary, but up front, I mean, it really doesn't get much better than Kayvon, Burns, and Dexter just pass rushing the shit out of you. So I feel like he's gonna have a fun time with that. And then Daboll for training camp and preseason took back the play calling, took over how to run the offense. So Mike Kafka is basically just getting him coffee at this point because his label's assistant head coach. So
I'd take that job.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Not having to do much, just be like, hey, I would do this. And the Daboll's like, no, you're a fucking idiot. We're doing this. And I'd be like, okay, cream or sugar?
Yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
But no, super happy. I don't know if it was officially confirmed if Daboll's taking it for the season. I would assume if he's gone up to this point in training camp and preseason to run the offense, I'm assuming he'll take it back. Because he's an offensive genius. Like, it doesn't get much smarter than Daboll. So I'm excited, and that's part of the reason why I think we're going to do so well in some of these like games that I feel like are going to be close with like top teams, meaning like Bengals, Buccaneers, like those fringe teams that are like maybe go on a run in the playoffs, maybe not, but probably make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. Very. And the Bengals. Sorry, I hate bringing up the Bengals because there's this one coworker that I butt heads with every single day who's a Bengals fan. So him and I just constantly talk shit to each other. So I'm really hoping we beat the Bengals. Whatchamacallit? But their run defense is terrible. So we'll see on that regard. And then I have this other coworker who I butt heads with sometimes, and he's a Colts fan.
Hey.
And it's funny because we were talking about AR's health today, and I literally just said like, yeah, like AR has to learn how to protect himself. Like it just comes down to that. He can't keep getting injured, or his career is not going to be very long.
It's the correct take, yeah.
And then he was like something along the lines of, "Oh, your QB can make so many mistakes, but when my QB makes a mistake, then everyone comes at him and won't stop talking shit." Got it. And I was like, dude, like I never said he made a mistake. I just said he has to learn how to protect himself. Anyways,
so weird. Yeah, that's some unfortunate energy in that one, you know. But maybe he spends too much time in his Twitter replies. I feel like that can happen if you feed the trolls. You can start to feel like it's raining negativity on you. But it's I just like to mute a bunch of accounts, to be honest. Guys, thank you so much. Keeps, thanks for joining us. James, I'm gonna
sorry about my long-winded rant again.
No, dude, no. No, don't be sorry. We appreciate it. I love it, man. But no, we got to get rolling here soon. So, James, I will hand it to you, sir. Where can the folks at home find you when you're not with us?
You can find us, me and you, both of us, on our sister station every Monday at 6 on the Weekly Dweeb, talking all the nerd news of the week, and then every Wednesday on our flagship show, talking Star Wars. We've got Star Wars Outlaws coming out next week, so we're going to be talking a lot about that next week.
Oh, yeah, big time. And while you're over there on Dweeb, check out our Late Night with the Devil deep dive. Danny and I spent an hour and a half talking about that movie and all the little secrets and Easter eggs you can find. So that was a great time. Keebler, what about you, sir? I know it's your off season. Where is there anywhere the folks at home can find you? Or are you laying low?
Boom, right here. I'm going to try to be more active on Twitter. I stopped paying for premium because I got roasted one time in a reply, and they were like, oh, you bought the blue check mark with 36 followers or whatever. So I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right, man. I got, what is it, ratioed on that one?
Yeah, they're like, this MF paid for Twitter. Yeah,
I feel that. This guy pays $8 a month for Twitter. He's such a loser.
You know what the counter is? You counter back with, I didn't realize $8 a month was too expensive for you. You know, that's usually that move. They want to flex on you for paying for it. You flex on them for being a broke dick. That's usually, that's
you
just
know
how
what?
I
Just
would
for that,
play
I'm getting my Twitter premium back.
Yeah, that's right. So, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you couldn't afford
premium. Like, shut up, bro.
It's the cost of a cup of coffee a month at this point.
My engagement was fire when I had premium.
That's the other thing too. It's legitimately pay to play. So it's sort of, if you're not paying for it, and you're using it for your brand, I don't know that it's worth even having a Twitter. It's like, if you just want to consume, cool, awesome, great. But other than that, it's sort of like you probably need to pay for the blue check mark, because otherwise they hide your stuff. But we will see you guys all next time. I want to one more time remind folks that if you are fans of the NFL, you can check out Keebler with our boy John Boyd and the other NFL homies on Necessary Roughness every Tuesday night, 8:15 Central, 9:15 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, if you're more fantasy football driven, go hang out with Trevor and Josh on Wednesday night at that same time. And you know what? I may end up just bumping our start time on Thursdays to 9:15 at this rate. But no, you can find us here, of course, every Thursday at 9. James already told you most of where you can find me. Also look for us other eggs on the Clout Route Tuesday nights, Sunday mornings. But we appreciate you all so very much for hanging out. I'm going to read through the chat real quick. Shout out David. Sorry, I didn't get to call it out earlier. Watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. We appreciate you, David, if you're still here. Been a frequent chatter. I appreciate seeing you in there. Nate was here. Bite Size Vikes. Skull for Life. Barber 1975, who's going to be hanging out with our boy John at Skullfest, it looks like. And of course, Keebler pulling double duty. He was also in the chat earlier. Let's go.
Yeah.
And CC, I hate to be mean, but I hope it's a different K in your life that dies and not me. I hope I'm allowed to say that, but have a great rest of your night, folks. We're final word from our wonderful sponsors at W on the way out. We'll see you next time. Be safe. Take care. Are you looking for an energy boost without the jitters? Let our friends at W Energy help you with their fantastic selection of flavors. Just visit www.w.gg and use the code BITESIZESPORTS at checkout for 10% off your order total. Again, that is www.dubby.gg. Code BITESIZESPORTS.